Hi. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about HyperDocs. HyperDocs are the 2020 version of a WebQuest. So WebQuest we know are explorations using the internet, while HyperDocs are a little bit more compact in the sense that all of the information that students need to explore a particular topic is on one doc. So here we have a doc which is considered a HyperDoc because we have links embedded in the doc and there are multiple choices. Students are prompted and told where to go and what to do once they get there. So if you take an example, or if you take a look at this here where it says sketch note, this is an option for how students could use technology to respond to a novel. So here, sketch note an important event or chapter from the novel. So that isn't actually something that students do virtually, although I'm sure they could. But what the document is telling students to do is to watch this video to learn the basics of how and why to use visual note-taking. So instead of sending students to a website where they can create a sketch note, instead this teacher is hyperlinking a video to teach students how to use this tool. But if you take a look to the right, it says design a TinyCap game regarding vocab usage in the novel. So TinyCap is a website. So instead of just teaching students how to use a skill, instead this link is sending students to a particular website to design a game. So if you take a look at the format, this particular teacher just created a 3x4 chart. And you can do that by going to, if you're using a computer, it's going to be different, but by creating a table and designing or inputting how many columns and rows you'd like, and then you have a table or a chart, and you can add options if you'd like. But the whole point of a HyperDoc is to give students choice, show students where to go by linking particular websites or resources like videos. Here's one that uses Google Expedition, Padlet for discussion, and then telling students what to do when they get there. I'm going to show you another example. This particular HyperDoc it's very tiny, so what you would actually do, as it says at the bottom, is file, make a copy of each document. So I would particularly copy each one so I can expand it for my students. But here we have game boards for revising argument, informative, and narrative writing. So this teacher basically created a chart around a center column. And that's a little bit more complex because the charts or the columns aren't even, but you don't have to worry about that too much. But here we have in the center the rules, and around it, students can go through this game board to learn a little bit more about how to revise an informative essay. So here we have rubrics, and it tells students how rubrics can be used, and then it says fill area during revision. When should students fill in this rubric while they're working on their revision? Next, it says time for triage, use the language for some initial grammar and feedback. So these are just particular skills that the teacher wants the student to work on. You could potentially give something like this because there are multiple steps 2 weeks before an essay is due, and students can independently or with a partner or a small group work through each part in the game board. You can check in with students after they've completed each one by having them share this with you and maybe changing the color of the box that they've completed, and etc. These are obviously for upper elementary to middle school students, but there are many ways that you can make HyperDocs, which are a lot less complex, just adding maybe 3 columns or 3 fields instead of multiple. That would be something that would automatically make it a little bit more visually, I guess, unintimidating. But I would love to talk to you about how to create these HyperDocs, but I really just wanted to give you a heads up that this is out there and that there are many options on Teachers Pay Teachers for free. I got this for free on Teachers Pay Teachers, and this is a great way to engage students virtually and in the physical classroom, and to allow students to have choice in their learning. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know if you had any questions.